No, that's a really good point. But at the same time, like I want to play the role of a devil's advocate by bringing this like sort of like dilemma
Right.
for the both of us to like explore. Okay, I think this is very personal to me, where sometimes I can't tell like I should just be yourself, and if you're happy with who you are, that's good. But at the same time, I have this really unending or sort of like tireless goal towards self development. So I
Right.
always want to better myself in anything that I do,
Right.
right? And it's not about being competitive, but it's about growth,
Right.
right? I'm really not competing myself with anyone. Like it's not about how good you are. If you're better than me at something, great. Like I view that as a learning opportunity.
Right.
I view that as like, oh nice, like there's someone who can actually like guide me in this certain like aspect of my life which I could benefit from,
Right.
you know? And how do you balance that sometimes? Because of the fact that what if your comfort zone, you being yourself in that sense, is you staying home and probably meeting someone once per month. But because of that, because of meeting someone once per month, I mean, let's face the truth. You are not, let's just say, hanging out with as many of your extroverted friends, right? And
Mhm.
that I think would hamper on the quality of your friendship.
Right. Um, I'd probably say, again, it depends on sort of the people, different people have different, I suppose, aspiration sort of goals. Obviously, if you're someone like Aaron who always seeks to better themselves, some people would like sort of a benchmark. Some people prefer not to have a benchmark. So some people would be like, oh, I want to be like this guy. So if he has 10 friends, I've got to have 10 friends as well. Or like if he's deep in his relationship, he's gone closer with like, five other guys, I need to do that as well. I mean,
Can't relate, but yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah. So different people, again, different sort of views and like ways. I say you should always find like what works for you in a sense. So for me, I'm a bit different from Aaron. I feel like I'm in a very good spot right now, like in a very zen spot. So I'm not looking to like improve myself sort of like vastly. I have like a time frame or like a goal like that. But obviously, I see where Aaron's coming from, whereby there's always that want or that desire to sort of improve yourself. I mean, who doesn't want to be like the perfect version of yourself?
Or a better version.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And so I'd say just take your own pace. Sometimes people always say to set goals and to put like, like a time frame. That way it pushes you to go out of your comfort zone. I mean, again, if that helps you, by all means, go for it. If, setting a goal like meeting two people in a month, once every fortnight is much better. You can do that. If you're not ready yet, maybe take small steps. Maybe you don't have to, see different guys, see like three different people in like a month. Maybe what you can do is, you can see the same person instead of once a month, make it twice a month, slowly. Other suggestions would be like, if you want to expand your sort of friendship, you can have the other friend bring someone along. That's how sort of connections and like, networking is made. You know, I mean, I don't know, but just for example, me and Aaron are pretty close. We'd catch up every so often. Maybe next time Aaron could bring, one of his high school mates, or, I could bring one of my high school mates to meet Aaron. But if you would like to have a better context, it would be, I had like a uni mate. He was from Singapore, and I introduced him to one of my high school mates. They got pretty close. I mean, not that close, but obviously in the future down the road, as I mentioned before, you never know when friends would come in handy, be it just for extra support, some other help. Obviously, again, don't, expend your friends just for like
The
the
sake of
benefit.
doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But you never know down the line, you might do business with them someday. They might come in handy. It's like beneficial for both parties in terms of business,
Yeah.
This guy sells fish, and this guy's an exporter, he's exporting to a country that needs fish. It's a win-win for both parties. So you never know when you need those friends. And if both of you are sort of happy, if it's a win-win, why not?
Yeah, no, yeah, like that's a really good point, because I feel like sometimes with me, like I said, I do restrict myself, and this is very like internal intuition, reflective side of me,
Right.
where no one's stopping me. I'm the one stopping me. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
of
sometimes,
course,
like when
of
I see
course.
someone, as in like when I see a friend. That's
Oh,
just
I
like
see. I see.
that's to put it, that's to clear it up a bit. Like when there's like a friend, right? Like I very consciously try not to see what they can bring me.
Right.
Like, oh, this guy is, he's, I don't know, or he has a podcast. Yeah, I could potentially hop on his episode once in a while and stuff like that. But I really stopped myself from doing that actually, to the
Right.
point where it becomes second nature to me.
I see.
Like when I see someone, like for example, someone who's, I don't know, who's well to do or who has connections in like the working world,
Right.
I actually sort of like go the other way around where I avoid them and I do not want to like ask them for help
Right.
despite them being able to help me because I feel like, oh shit, what if that's like me exploiting them? You know what I'm trying to say?
Of course, of course.
I feel that really strong guilt attached to it.
Right. I mean, I get where you're coming from, and like sometimes asking for help, like it's never an easy thing to do. Like, working in NAB, like a lot of people, it's very hard to like admit when you're in debt or like you need like, mental health. Obviously a very sensitive topic, but like a lot of people always say like the first step to improving is to acknowledge that you're having issues
Oh, for sure.
or like that you need the help itself.
The realization,
Correct.
the awareness.
And
Yeah.
and so sometimes it's never easy to ask help, especially from someone you don't know well, even though they're well connected. I mean, I'd say that's sort of why you got to be, I wouldn't say relatively close, but that's sort of the importance of where you say yourself deepening the relationship a bit. Obviously, it doesn't have to be like, as you said, oh, dude, this guy's my best friend. Happy birthday, man. Congrats and stuff like that. But it shouldn't be at like just an arm's length kind of thing whereby you're like, oh, I come to you when I need help. Obviously, invite the guy out for coffee, have a chat, just catch up. And down the road, if you do need help, I think, obviously, again, assuming that the person is, good in nature. I mean, hopefully people are, but, who wouldn't want to help someone that's in trouble when you're capable of doing so?
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, for example, again, Aaron and I are close, but obviously we're not like so close. I mean, him and I, we've just met for a year, but to put it into context, if one day Aaron came to me for help, I'd obviously, offer my help for him. Obviously, again, if I have the means to do so, I would obviously do so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no reason to deny someone from getting any help. I mean, in my perspective, why would you decline someone when you can help them,
But would you feel obliged though? Would you feel obliged to help? Like for something that you do not want to help? Not money. Let's just say like an act of service or something that you're not comfortable doing.
That's a tough one. I suppose yes and no. Like, again, that really depends on sort of the person. For me, I'm very sort of upfront. If I don't feel like I could help the person, you could probably just put it in a sort of nicer manner, meaning if you feel like you can't help this person or you're not comfortable with it,
Just be honest.
yeah, exactly. Just be honest.
Just be transparent.
I think just put it in a nicer way. So phrase it in a better way. So meaning instead of saying, sorry, I can't help you, put it in a better context, meaning just be like, hey, I know you're asking for help. Just stating out there, maybe I'm not the best person that might be able to help you. Maybe offer some other, of your connections. You know what I mean?
And would you be able to do that? Would you be able to say no?
It's a tough one, but I would probably just say no if they don't get sort of the hint. Just put it in a subtle sort of manner. Be like, hey, I might not be able to help you like right now. Obviously, be like, maybe it's not my area of expertise, or I'm not really sort of comfortable with these kind of things. Try to sort of line the conversation. Be like, hey, but I do have this guy who might be able to help you. Give them their contact and be like, hey, Evan sent you, Evans gave me his contact number. You might, I'm just looking to see if you could help me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, if they don't get the hint, you just got to flat out just tell them, hey, look,
Fair.
I'm so sorry, I can't help you out. But then again, not everyone is able to meet sort of your expectations. So not everyone can help you, So just because he's rich doesn't mean he's sort of obligated to help you in financial means. You know what I mean?
So in conclusion, I think we can wrap it up by saying that be comfortable with saying no. No, we gotta normalize saying and receiving no as an answer.
Of course.
I think that's very important.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And I actually want to ask you one question.
Right.